Her Majesty's Government will, within the next few months, be restructuring the financing of national expenditure. This will involve a number of substantial changes, one of the most important of which is the introduction of the Hester, as the yardstick measure used to convey to the public the scale of expenditures and austerity measures that will be put in place in the coming years. The problem is that most people find it hard to deal with the concept of large sums of money. This is clearly not a problem for those who have attended the best public schools, but for the majority of the population, the idea of the pound is one they are happy with. The idea of spending £100 is one that they can find unsettling. The concept of spending £10,000 is one that many people find distinctly worrying. When we get to the million, the number of zeros becomes intimidating, and many people have no real concept of the sums involved. You get to £10 million and, well, there have been attempts to put this kind of sum into context, but they have not been entirely successful. Some have tried to explain things in terms of the very familiar pound coin. Let's take a pound coin and lay it on the ground. Now let's add pound coins until we have 10 million. We now have a stack about 18 miles high. That's about twice the height that jet planes fly at. That's not really working, is it? Let's think distance. It's the distance you can drive in about 20 minutes on an open road at just less than 60 miles an hour. Still not really working, is it? So let's try £10 notes. They're very thin, so a stack of £10 notes might be of a comprehensible size. So let's imagine laying a £10 note down. Stacking up 10 million notes takes you about a kilometre. Imagine someone, Galileo maybe, dropping a cannonball from the top of the stack. It takes 14 seconds to hit the ground. This is still not really working, is it? And that is why Her Majesty's Government have decided to introduce a whole new unit. It will be based around the £10 million total. From here on, £10 million will be known as one Hester. The Hester is named after Stephen Hester, who is... The Hester is named after Stephen Hester, who is chairman of the Royal Bank of Scotland. His remuneration package in the year 2010 to 2011 was as close to £10 million as makes no odds. So this seemed an appropriate term for our new £10 million unit. So now we need to explain to the public what a Hester is in terms that they will understand. A Hester is roughly equivalent to the cost of building 3 new schools. So we might say that there are 3 schools to the Hester. Or about 350 nurses to the Hester. Or about 120 small houses to the Hester. Now this might be regarded as homes for about 200 children presently living in substandard accommodation, but that particular conversion factor is not one that is likely to mean much to most of the people we are concerned with. On the other hand, we may wish to put major infrastructure investments into context. The Edinburgh Tram scheme is a case in point. Present estimates of the costs are eye-wateringly large for most people. £750 million to create a tram line that runs the distance that it does can be described more conveniently as 75 Hesters. A sum which is dwarfed by the 2,000 Hesters, the sum that the taxpayer has handed over to the Royal Bank of Scotland. Present Chairman, Stephen Hester.